Hi guys, and welcome now to the graph section here for the APEVOIX grid, the NiceHCK Major Audio CK2V and the NiceHCK NX8 review. I want to start here with the grid for you guys. Where is it? Where is it? I believe it's this one here. Let me just confirm. I think it's this one. Let me see. Yes, that's it. Okay, so that's the APEVOIX, the grid. You look at the graph and nothing really that you can say is offensive in any manner. There's kind of a little dip here in this area of or leading up to the peak of the pin again, kind of meta, let's put it that way. You can notice that yes, there's an emphasis here on the mid base with a very slight roll off here. I mean, I guess, no, yeah, very slight roll off. That was left channel, right channel. Very slight roll off at the lower end, but definitely the focus is here on this area. And then there's a roll off up top. So an overall, you can kind of get the perception of an overall warmer sound. If I take this 100 hertz point here, you can see by the way that it matches, the 100 hertz to then where it corresponds there in the upper mids area. It's a kind of a warmer sound. Comparing it now with the Puller Anvil 114, and as I mentioned, they are basically similar up to about 4.5, 5K. They're very similar, okay? Maybe just a smidge more, excuse me, bass and lower mids on the Puller. But then the difference that really is noticeable is that in this part of the treble and the extension past 10K. And that's exactly why, when you see straight away, or when you hear straight away the anvil, you can notice that it's definitely got more info up top, more detail up top, and that extra info that it's got up top then does affect as well how the bass comes across, how even the bone conduction is perceived. And you do notice that the bone conduction on the grid is giving you that sensation, like I mentioned earlier, of perhaps being a little bit hollowy on certain instances in certain songs. But anyway, that's those two compared, so you guys can see what it's like. I'm going to get you now the NiceHCK and compare the NiceHCK here with, where are we, NiceHCK, where are we, did it disappear? Oh my god, disappeared? No, it was here just a second ago. You want to see if it's the last one? Ah, exactly, go figure. Anyway, this is the NiceHCK, the NX8. Very nice curve as well. Once again, nothing that really stands out as offensive. The 100 hertz point here corresponds to roughly 3 kilohertz. There's a significantly more information up top as compared to the APEVOIX, to the grid. Let me just make sure that I get it here again if you guys can see. So that's the APEVOIX, the grid. Yes, you do notice, of course, that the grid does have a little bit more mid-bass fullness, but it's the matching of everything, it's how everything is put together that ultimately dictates the overall sound, the timbre, the tonality. And the reality is the NX8 has got a more sub-bass focused sound, no bleeding to the mids. The mids are silky smooth, this really slow, steady gain. I mean, nothing, there's really nothing I can point negative, and the PZT has been flawlessly implemented. And this is why when I was hearing it, I said to myself, oh my god, this thing sounds just like the Fool, the Performer 5+2. From a 7, you want to call it that way. And you can see I just placed the graph. Let me actually just make the color of the full in red so it can stand out a little bit more. And you see the full And you straight away understand why I'm having such a comment, why I'm saying such a statement. The bass is very equal in quality. The quantity maybe on the NX8 edges out the full. Mids are basically the same. It's just this area here on the full and how it is being backed up by the bass that comes from behind because of the quantity being perceivably less, that makes it sound just a little bit more detailed, a little bit more open than the NX8. But guys, I'm really like nitpicking here because the difference is not a huge difference. The truth is, the NX8 is a really, really good IEM. It plays really well, and it was definitely the surprise. I don't know, maybe because of previous experiences, you just kind of maybe create a not a negative bias, but you create an image. So, okay, let's see how it sounds, and the truth is, it is a seriously good sounding IEM, and it plays really properly. Okay, that's that. And now let's get here the CKLVX, the Mayer audio, and that's the CKLVX. The tuck style bass. Again, that silky, smooth rise of the pina, kind of goes across here, a little bit of a peak there at 5, but not perceivable, and nice extension past 10K from those microplanars. The 100 hertz, again, as you can see, corresponds nicely. It basically ticks the boxes that are important, which is at that corresponding point the upper mids to the 100 hertz in the bass is anywhere between 2 and 3K, 3K being preferable. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of similarity between the CK2V and the SL41 Mark II. And here's the SL41 Mark II, just for you guys to understand why I was saying that they are exactly the same IEM. Okay, or in my opinion they are. The difference is that there's just a slightly lower energy level on the CK2V, and obviously more detail up top past 10K. But anyway, this is not what we want to see. What we want to see is how this compares, for example, to the EPZ, the P50. This is the EPZ, the P50. The EPZ P50 definitely, if I take away here quickly the CK, you can definitely see it's the leanest of them all. I mean, there's not really any significant time. I mean, it does have kind of a little bit of a meta feel going to it, if you notice. A little bit of a slight dip here, and this rise of the pin again, goes across nicely. Nice extension past 10K. It's definitely the IM out of all of them that will sound probably the most detailed up top, the most technically inclined. Okay, the 100 hertz point here, if you then correspond it over, you can see it's the one that has probably got the most energy above this corresponding point as compared to the others. And when you compare it here to the 2V, there are certain instances, but the way you could say they are similar, especially in this upper register here. But in the bass department of the 2V is just it's just something else. It's just next level. Might as well just throw in here, take away that, compare here the CK2V with the grid. You can see that the two big differences are here in this bass and low mids point of 100 hertz above and below that point. That's the difference there, a little bit more mid bass energy. And then the extension again on the 2Vs is way more prominent and evident than on the grid. And comparing it here with the comparing the 2V with the NX8, you can definitely see some similarities. There are some similarities. The mids are very much the same thing. The bass is more close than what you would think by the graph actually, and even extension up top. But the 2V's always got a lot more detail. But the interesting thing is, you would think that detail would come at a price of it being perhaps unnatural or not sounding. No, it comes across very, very good. That's the reality. And that's that, guys. I mean, like I said, any one of them is a really good IEM. Whereas here the puller, just for the sake of you taking the puller and comparing the puller with the NX8, and I mentioned as well in the review that I actually, thought that the pull in the NX8 came close in terms of overall sound, and the reality is they do. Although graphically there are significant differences, the way that overall package, because it all has to do with how the drivers are coherently matched. That's ultimately the reason why an IEM will sound more well put together and more as one single source of sound, or as several sources of sound emitting their respective frequencies. Yeah, that's it. Just one last thing, yeah, that I think might interest you guys, which has to do with the P50. Okay, so this is the P50, the EPZ. Like I said, a deep fit is a must on this IM if you really want to get out of it what it's possible of doing. Nevertheless, I said to myself, well, could I maybe improve this or make this something that's easier for more people to perhaps appreciate better? And so I came up with this small little retune, which in essence basically maintains everything equal up to about 3K, and then it drops it off past that and reduces the energy of the microplanars. This has been done basically in two ways: with a change of a filter on the actual nozzle, and using the KB Ear 07 tips, in this particular case the yellow one. And trust me when I say that if in its stock format the P50 is a really good sounding IM, in this modified version I don't think in any way that it stays or it loses in any way, because you might think, oh, but you have this big dip here between 5 and 8K and so, no, honestly, you don't, well, I didn't at least pick up on any loss of any detail of any sort. What I did notice was that because now this 100 hertz point here doesn't have as much energy to correspond to, the overall balance is more neutral. So you don't have a sound which is tendentially more vocal focused or vocal centric. It's it's very neutral across the whole frequency. It's very balanced out. And that's it, guys. I'm not going to bug you anymore. As always, like and subscribe. Any questions you might have, please feel free to ask me. I'll do my very best to answer as quickly as possible. And I'm just going to leave you with the 3 graphs of the 3 IMs that I tested for you guys today, just so that you guys can have just one last view and see how they stack up against each other. So actually let me make here the grid black so it stands out more with the black, with the red and blue of the other two. Okay, so grid in black, as you can see there. The blue is the CKLVX, the Mayor Audio, and the red, the NX8. All right, guys, as always, been a pleasure. Take care now. Bye-bye.